city official in regards to this means of egress. Do they want a catwalk here? Otherwise, this has to be elevated 8 inches above grade. You have to keep it free of snow and ice. So this has to be shoveled out every snowstorm. Otherwise, if there was a catwalk 8 inches above, the snow would fall down. So we have to ask whether or not he's going to allow this to stay as is, or he wants a catwalk system installed here so that all these people feed the catwalk. This ladder here is all original hardware. This is a roof access ladder only, to be used for probably accessing the AC units and such, but the attachments are all compromised, so that needs to be reattached, painted. Fire escape does not pass the code. 1028.6, depending on the structural condition, a load test may be ordered, so we can proceed to a load test on this after it gets reattached, or by reattaching it with new connections and verifying these connections that there's no load test, because you're going to provide other evidence of strength. Question on the catwalk, and then let's come out here to the main part of the fire escape, which is the fire escape ladder that drops. Okay, pre-existing non-conforming rail. We have to ask the city if they want us to block this, if there's any children here, if they want us to put more lines on this. Otherwise, it's pre-existing non-conforming. All welded connections, every one of these welded connections need to be x-rayed or load tested. Otherwise, if we put in some angle clips with bolts, we can negate a lot of these welds to avoid the load test by reattaching it with a connection. This platform that we're on, I'm a little concerned about, because it's all closed and blocked, and you got steel and you got rocks, and it's buried, and it got water damage, and so it's very difficult because they basically encapsulated. I don't know what's going on with it, so it needs further investigation. So a lot of times, by the time you do that, it's better just to get rid of this and basically create a new catwalk, a new platform system that could be part of the catwalk system that comes here. This chain and these weights and this ladder needs to be repaired and then load tested. Or if you change out all the fasteners on this and you change out all the chain, put in a new chain, and then you have to verify the pulley systems, make sure they're greased, make sure they're working properly. So a lot of times, instead of load testing chain, it's just cheaper to buy a new chain and then reattach and make all the new connections again, so that she does go down, she does come back up. So she is functioning. There is some issue with some of these weights are just, hitting. They're supposed to be on a track in case they let go so that they don't fall. So, and it is a backyard, so there's another issue here in that this is a yard that you hit there, then you take a left, and then you come out to the street in between these two buildings over there. So there's a street. So that's the current path. You got to make sure that path is not obstructed in any way. We also have here, just as a reference, we have a tower here that I think is starting to show its age structurally. So the rule of thumb on those things is use it or lose it. So instead of it coming down in a storm, a lot of times they want you to knock it down. If it's this technology for radio or transmission of any kind is not being used, this should just be removed so that it never comes down on anybody or in this area. Getting back to the fire escape, the ladder is when you go all the way down, the ladder doesn't touch the ground, and so when you start climbing up, the ladder wiggles, so it needs to be secured at the bottom when it hits the ground. There should be a release up here so that nobody can pull it down like I just did. A release arm up here, or a chain release, so that only from above can anybody release this ladder so nobody breaks into the building and gets into these apartments. All right, so with that, we got rust. We got original hardware everywhere. Rust is getting behind this. So it doesn't look like there's been any evidence of maintenance. Any welded connection needs to be backed up with a bolt, and there's welded connections throughout. So again, no evidence of maintenance, just a crude fire escape system that was kind of thrown in here with some welds, and we really got to seal up any joints, back up any weld with a bolt, and any original hardware, it needs to be swapped out in order to avoid the load test. Otherwise, we can perform the spot repair on this by a local vendor, and then you can proceed to a load test. It's 100 pounds per square foot, which would basically be done on this area over here. But again, we would have to investigate this, or basically create a new platform here that basically is going to be utilizing the existing ladder system down to the ground. Okay, I don't see any other way other than what's here, but this is a pre-existing non-conforming structure, and some conversations with the city official will have to take place as to what's the best game plan for this. And the catwalk is a definite concern as to whether or not they want a catwalk back into this as part of this system here. Any questions, Fire Escape Engineers? Inspect the summary video. We're here in Mansville, New Jersey. 866-649-0333. This is Cisco Meneses.